IL's first trailer at the Summer Game Fest of 2025 landed like a punch to the gut. We saw a horror game overflowing with gore, combat, and grotesque monsters lurking around every corner. Every shocking moment stuck with us, and we just could not wait to learn more about this game. Behind this unsettling world is the Team Clout, a group of the developers with deep roots in horror films and TV. Their resumes include projects like Longlegs, the VHS Beyond. By the way, I love this movie. Kind of creepy as hell though. Now they're bringing their expertise to the gaming, and the results, well, a lot of people already, it's just turning our heads. You know, at its core, IL is an action horror title built around a strong narrative, visuals, and the intense gameplay. You'll find moments designed to make your heart race in fear, following by the sequences where you're in full control of this brutal combat. The developers set out to mix survival horror elements, limited resources, tense exploration with a first-person 3D action that feels both kind of fluid and unforgiving. You'll be facing off against monsters that just don't die when you shoot them. They adapt, punish you for the mistakes, and leave lasting scars on the world around you. So the story takes place in a bleak, remote fort somewhere in Eastern Europe, now overrun by nightmares made flesh. Details remain tightly under wraps, but we know that the game centers on one protagonist whose personal journey reflects on the wider horror unfolding around him. Everything in this world feels abandoned and hopeless. And Team Clout wants you to sense that isolation at every turn, to empathize with the main character as he battles both the external threats and his own inner demons. The game's title, IL, or ILL, is short, striking, and visually memorable, perfect for a logo. It hints at sickness, a curse, and something deeply wrong. Even the monsters tie back to the name, though the exact link remains quite a mystery, at least for now. You'll have to play to uncover the secrets behind why this place and its inhabitants are so, and I quote, ill. Now the creature design in IL deserves its own spotlight. Founders Maxim Verhin and Oleg Vdovenko, both veterans concept artists, drew inspiration from classic horror films of the 1970s through 1990s. They admired how those movies used practical effects and the animatronics, hiding flaws with clever lighting and solid direction. The hands-on approach fueled their vision for IL's monsters, imperfect, organic, and utterly chilling. Now, on the gaming side, the team looked into titles like Half-Life 2, Silent Hill, and Resident Evil. Those games felt alive and dangerous, not just because of what you saw on the screen, but because of how the world reacted. Limited ammo, a sense of confinement, and a constant fear of what might lurk just out of the view. All those elements influence IL's design. Team Clout wanted to recreate that moment-to-moment tension, the thrill of searching for resources while knowing every shadow could hide something deadly. Creating a new monster in IL isn't one-size-fits-all process. Something that they started with was a simple sketch and ask how it could move, attack, and fit into a game. Other times, a random clip online gives them a kind of a spine-tingling idea that they work to bring into a 3D form. They will always test designs in game, discarding anything that looks great on paper but fails in combat or breaks immersion. The end result is a bestiary of unique nightmarish creatures that feel both fresh and grounded in horror tradition. Animation plays a huge role in selling these horrors. Team Clout leaned on advice from Moonfish team to set up their animation pipeline. They even created short horror films to practice crafting unsettling movement. One funny anecdote illustrates their process. During a modeling session, art director Alexei Mikhailov unconsciously crouched in a strangely creepy way. The team recorded it, and that exact motion made it into the official trailer and into the final game as a monster behavior. Now, working at 60 frames per second posed its own challenges. Animations can look too sharp, losing the cinematic blur audience associate with films. But after some adjustment, the developers grew to appreciate the crisp, responsive feel that it kind of brings to the gameplay. Every twitch and turn of the creature becomes insanely lifelike. Now, gameplay in ZDEyE combines exploration, resource management, combat, and the environmental puzzles. You'll scavenge for parts to upgrade your weapons, plan your inventory carefully, and decide when to fight or flee. Combat ranges from intense one-on-one encounters to battles against those swarming hordes and formidable bosses. Each weapon you find, like shotguns, revolvers, AK-47s, sniper rifles, can be customized, and you'll discover improvised melee tools that pack a savage punch. Puzzles and environmental interactions add another layer of immersion. Restoring power to one section might plunge another into darkness. Pathways shift, traps activate, and your detective work can reveal shortcuts or hidden caches. The world reacts to your choices, reinforcing the sense that you're not just moving through a set piece, but engaging with a living, breathing nightmare. Team Clout hopes ZDEyE sparks conversations among players. They imagine friends trading stories. You won't believe what happened in that hallway kind of thing. Or perhaps, did you find that custom weapon? Like it turned out the tide in my fight against our hulking kind of brute. Now the goal is to make ZDEyE appeal not only to die-hard horror fans, but to anyone who enjoys a gripping story, strategic combat, and a world that they can lose themselves in. ZDEyE is under development for a PlayStation 5, with more release dates and details indeed will be coming sometime soon. And of course, if you're craving for a game that delivers both the adrenaline pumping action and pure, unrelenting terror, obviously we should mark our calendars. This trip is gonna be quite an interesting one for sure. And at that, thank you so much for watching. Do let me know as well down in the comments, what did you think about this game called ZDEyE? Nevertheless, I see you guys all, like and subscribe, and yeah, have a good one.